Surtr, the fire giant, is the newest god coming to the game SMITE and is a Norse warrior. His passive is called Obsidian Flesh. When Surtr loses enough health, his flesh will crack into fragments which will drop onto the ground. If he picks these up, he will gain a percentage of his max health over time and protections for 3 seconds. Enemies, however, can walk over these and destroy them. His first ability is called Flames of Muspell. Surtr sets his sword on fire, giving him the haste buff while this ability is active. After casting this ability, his next successful basic attack will deal bonus magical damage, as well as ignite the target to take damage over time and spawn a fiery imp. This ability's bonus damage increases per stack with a maximum of 200 when an enemy dies while the burning effect is active. His second ability is called Giant's Grasp. Surtr pulls the closest target into him, which can be either a lane minion, a fiery imp, or a magma rock if neither are in the range. He then throws that object forward, dealing damage and stunning enemies. If he throws a fiery imp, it'll pass through all minions and stop on the first enemy god, exploding in an area. If it's a lane minion, it'll pass through minions and just stop on the first enemy god. If it is a magma rock, however, it won't pass through lane minions and will only stop on the first enemy that it hits. Surtr's third ability is called Emberwalk. He creates a fiery ring surrounding him that gives him a movement speed buff, which increases after hitting enemies while the ability is active. The ring deals damage and slows enemies once as it expands or when fully formed, and again once it contracts. While the ring is formed, the outer ring deals continuous damage to the enemies inside. This ring can also pick up obsidian flesh fragments from his passive. And finally, his ultimate is called End of Days. After a windup in which Surtr is CC immune, he'll throw himself up into the air, becoming immune to all damage and can choose where to come crashing down. Before landing, a bunch of meteorites will split off, targeting enemies on the ground, dealing damage and spawning a bunch of fiery imps. Once the meteor hits the ground, it'll deal damage and knock up enemies that it hits.
Your prowess surprises me. Cancel that. Gaze upon the might that is Surtr. Burn it to the ground. You are but a fleeting memory to pass forgotten. There is little fire within you, but it will be extinguished nonetheless. Fate will see your body lifeless, broken, and returned to ash. You stand against a Jotun and the Lord of Muspell. Flee or die. When the burning ash fills your lungs, truly know despair. Have you ever asked Tyr to lend a hand? I'm sure it would make Fenrir amused. Do you expect some kind of special reward? upon my death. Ragnarok will be the end of us all. Us all. That includes me.